On behalf of our entire CAHO community, as many of you continue to join, welcome to all. Prasanth is going to run it for us. He's part of the Shankara I Institute. And it's just a teaser, what I call the little toe into the river of Excel. And for those of you who use Excel for a living, you know it's very easy to explore like chess. The problem is, unlike chess, you don't have just 64 little squares on a chessboard that you can move around. You can have thousands and thousands of cells, and then when you do workbook links and you put macro programs into Excel, you can go through the universe, which is big. So hopefully Prasanth will introduce many of you to be more effective on the use of this very powerful tool, and how to make our lives much simpler for tomorrow than our yesterdays.
So first of all, thank you so much for the warm introduction, and I'm very glad that you want to be associated with this very first collaboration with CAHO and NMI EMS in Hyderabad. And so to start with, so since it's a phase 1 program, so we are just going to cover the fundamentals of the Excels. So I'm not going to touch some typical, top-ended formulas or layouts that will actually come in picture, where we will actually explore the fundamentals. Once we expertise in the fundamentals, definitely that's going to be very handy to everyone. I'm not sure how many of you are actually into using Excel in your regular day-to-day routine. So I'm pretty much going to touch from the beginning to the 25% of it, which is very mandatory to know to succeed and go beyond 25%. So okay, without further any delay, probably I'll just move on to the topics that I've been asked to take. Yeah, so yes, so these 8 topics that I'm going to cover in this basic class. So function and formulas, and create and merge worksheets, and common shortcuts, formatting cells and layouts, data validation and highlight and filter, build tables and charts, finally Excel dashboards. Yeah, so I'll just go to the sheet 1. So as many of you are very much aware that we can do simple calculations using Excel, whereas we can do the similar thing using calculator. So I'll just start with that. Yeah, of course, it's a very elementary level, but obviously when we are going from the phase 1, of course, I thought of adding these as well for those who don't know about these small techniques. So to add, so there are 16 functions which I thought of adding here, because these are all very common and very effective if we use it in our regular activities. To start with, add. So add, obviously, it's adding one cell to another cell, particularly numbers. Okay, so how can we add it? There are 2 ways of adding it. So one is to type the number manually, 1 plus 1, it sums to 2. So if we need to choose the cell and take the cell as a reference, then probably we'll go on to the cell and we just click plus to add along with the cell 2. So yeah, so what is the difference doing this? So if we do 1 plus 1 manually, if there is a change in the source, then we cannot get that change in the output. So if there is a change, let me change this 1 to 2. Yeah, so here you can see 2 plus 1 is 3. Yeah, it's changed because I've chosen the cell instead of typing the numbers manually. So this is where we make literally small tiny mistakes, because sometimes we do it manually when we end up seeing the sum is not matching up to the expectation. So this is small thing. It's similar to subtract, multiply, and divide. So whereas we need to replace the plus with minus, multiply, and divide symbol. So I'll do it once again. So this time I'll just refer the cell, as you know how manual will work. So subtract, just choose minus and 2. So now it's 1. So if there is a change in the numbers, obviously we can see the change in the output as well. Yeah. So the multiplication also, it's similar. You just choose asterisk, which is x. It's 12, and you will have to choose the divide. Yeah, so we got the pretty much sum of it. Now let's go on to the sum. So sum, everyone are very familiar and you have been using it in your day-to-day activities, because sum has a key role play in Excel sheet. Many of us are being used to it. So let me show you what sum does. What is the difference between add and sum? So sum is an inevitable thing in Excel sheet because everyone are very much familiar to the sum. So what sum does? So you'll have to, before you are entering any kind of formula, you better add equal to symbol, because equal to, when you add equal to, it will take it as a formula. If you don't add equal to before any kind of functions or formulas, then it will be like a simple cell text. Okay, so you don't forget to add equal to before you type any formulas. So you will have to type sum and click tab. So when you click tab, the alignment are done automatically. So you just choose the range from range. So if you want to take it from here to here, you just keep it on the cell and drag it up to where you want, and then you just click enter. So that's it. So it's actually summed up. So the total value that we have entered in the top 4 rows, it's 57. Now there we got the total sum of it. So what is minimum? So we need to know the minimum that we typed in. The minimum number, that means the least number that we typed in the particular range. So when it comes to small numbers where we can see it by ourselves, we can easily find out that 1 is the minimum number that we have typed. So what if, let's say, thousands of rows have been utilized to create some data, and in that we need to see some minimum and maximum numbers. So to simplify that, I have, the Excel has a provision to find out minimum and maximum of the selected range. Let me show you that. So equal to and minimum, then click tab and choose the range, enter it. So as I told you, 1 is the minimum among the range that we have chosen, and the max equal to max. And let me, okay, over. Okay, fine. So the max is 57. So this is very easy. Count. So when you want to count how many numbers are there, the same procedure, equal to and type count, and then tab, and then you just select the range and click enter. So sum and count is different. Sum is to sum the numbers. Count is to count the numbers. How many numbers have been entered in the cells? The counting, we will get it. So there are 14 numbers that we have entered in the 14 cells. Okay. So next, count A. So what is count A? So count A counts cells containing any type of information, including error values and text. So it's still not it's little tricky. So if you want to count only the numbers, you can use count. And if you want to count along with the text, better use count A. I'll show you how it does. So I'll just add few words where we can see how this count A works. So I'm just going to put equal to and count A, tab. So I'm just going to choose this range. So I'll just show you once again. I'll just reselect the count so that you can see the difference. Okay, so for count, I have chosen this entire cells up to here with the text where it's only counting the numbers. But in count A, I have chosen the same cell range and it shows 15 because it had taken the words as well. So this is how we can count the words, which is added in the Excel sheet. So average is nothing but how to find out average. So let me type few cell numbers so that we can find out some average of the numbers. Okay, so there are 5 numbers there. So probably I'll just type the formula equal to average, tab, and select the range from 2 to. So where you want to find out the average. So you just select it and click enter it. So here you go. So here you can see the 80.4 is the average of the cells that you have referred. Okay, so the median is to find out the median middle number of the selected range. So the formula is same, equal to median, and choose all the values and click enter. So here you can see 68 is the middle number. So what if I change these two? Yeah, obviously 68 is the middle number in this thing. So in this way, as I told you before, when we are working with small data, it's very easy to do it manually. So when we go on with the large data, then it's very difficult to do manually step by step, because we will end up losing a lot of time, and the works also will not get get over within the timeline. So what is concatenate? So concatenate links things together in a chain or series. So let me show you an example. I'll type Microsoft in differential and Excel in differential. So I just want these two appear in this particular cell, as a single text. Okay, let me show you how that can be done. So type equal to and type the formula concatenate. Yeah, click tab and choose first text and comma and choose that second text that you want to add it along with the first text and click enter. So here you can see Microsoft Excel is clubbed. So, and also you can notice that there is no space given in this thing. So probably what you can do is you can extend the space here. You just give one space before the second text so that it will automatically adjust to it. Okay, so this is how you can do it. And if is a logical thing, it runs a logical test and returns one value for a true result and another for a false result. So this particular formula works on a logical basis. So it's supposed to match with your logic. If it doesn't match with your logic, then definitely the value is going to be false. If it match, then we can expect the true value to come in. So let me add some words where we can actually I can show you the example of it. So let me apply the if formula, and I just want to give some logical things. So if this cell is equal to let me add Microsoft only, Microsoft. If it is equal to Microsoft, then the value is supposed to be true. If it is true, then I'm supposed to get, let's say, yes. If it is false, then I'm supposed to get recheck. And click enter. So here I can see S, because I have given the logical thing saying this cell, if it is equal to Microsoft, then I should get S. If it is not equal to Microsoft, then I should get recheck. So let me change the value over here. Instead Microsoft, I will give Google. So here the thing is changed. It's recheck. Okay, so if it doesn't match to your logical thing, then of course you will get the false value or the designated text that whatever you just assigned to it. Okay, so now next COUNTIF. It's a function, one of the statistical function to count the number of cells that meets criteria. So it's nothing but, so if you want to pick up the total count of the particular range within the criteria. So let's say I just want to count from here to here, but I'm going to give a criteria to it. So, but I just need only number 1 to be counted. So I just added number 1 and I'm just going to close it. So there are only 3 numbers, number 1s are in the selected range. So I can get only 3 numbers as output. So that is it. Next thing is VLOOKUP. It's a vertical lookup that make Excel search for a certain value in a column in order to return a value from a different sheet in the same workbook. Okay, so I'm not going to take you to the next sheet. I'll just show you how it works in the same sheet. So I'm just going to type VLOOKUP, and I need to know the lookup value which is unique from this sheet to that sheet. Okay, so when you have a unique value to compare and get the equivalent one, then that would be ideal. So you are supposed to have a unique one. So I'm going to choose lookup value as a Google, and come on, table array would be this, and column index number. So I just want to know the second column value. Okay, so if it is third column, fourth column, then I would be choosing appropriately. But there is no further columns, so I'll just choose only second column. That value is supposed to appear over here. Okay, so I'll just choose set 2 and click type 0 for the approximate match. So the Excel is coming over here because I've just looked up the Google. So the equivalent, the next value of Google is Excel. So I can see that in this working cell. Okay, so the similar way we can do it with multiple sheets as well, because VLOOKUP is a very friendly and a very effective formula which is being used in all kind of segment current time. So when you need to update your date and time, permanently, so then you can choose equal to now and open and close bracket and enter it. So these keeps changing it as and when you open and close the Excel sheet, or even if you refresh the Excel sheet, these dates and time getting changed. Maybe we can see the timing at the end of the session. Probably it will notice. You can understand how this now function actually works. So the first topic is covered. So let me move on to the next topic, which is create and merge worksheets. Oh yeah, it looks little clustered and a little messy, but I thought of creating it because since it's a merge worksheets, I thought of creating it in different worksheets, but it will actually expand the workbook, which is unnecessarily will confuse you as well. So that's why I thought of keeping all the working materials in a single sheet so that I can explain it to you in an easy way. I'll try to make you understand a bit. So here I have given sheet 1, sheet 2, and sheet 4. Sheet 3 and sheet 4. So which means these supposed to be 4 different sheets in the bottom. The first one is for April, and second May, and third June, and fourth one is for July. So what I need to do out of it, I just need to have a consolidated summary sheet out of all these 4 sheets. So what I can do, probably either I can copy paste from 4 different sheet to single sheet, whereas I can miss the changes that is happening after the copy paste. Otherwise, I can actually link the sheet from the source sheet to consolidated sheet. So linking sheet will definitely keep all the changes updated, but copy pasting, it will not update the consolidated sheet, because the copy pasting is happening in a different sheet, because there is no connection between the consolidated and the sheet 1, sheet 2, sheet 3, sheet 4. So to make you very clear, so I've just taken 4 same set of header datas. The headers are similar, but the datas are different. Okay, so in April, we got a set of data in May and June and so on. So how am I going to consolidate in a single sheet? I'm just going to delete this. Okay, how can I bring the sheet 1 data to consolidated sheet? Okay, so it's simple. You just click equal to and choose the value that you wanted to reflect on the cell that you have chosen and click enter. So you can see the same number, same value. You can see it over here. So similar to that, you just choose the top row. You just finish the top row first, then I'll explain you how we can do it for other rows as well easily. So the top row data is selected. Okay, so I can drag this because it's in the same sequence. So as you can see, it's in the vertical order, and here also I have given vertical way. So there is no formatting, no formula is needed to link the sheet 1 to consolidated sheet. You just have to click this dot and drag it until down, so where you can see the 9 cells is matching. Okay, similar to that, you just do it in for the country and item type and units sold. So now the sheets are linked. The similar way you will have to do it for May, June, July. So whatever it is, the consolidated sheet is very easy to prepare by clicking, by just adding the equal to and linking the cell reference to the cell where you want to have. That's it. So as I was saying, if I change this sub Africa to Asia, does it change? Let me check. So you can see here. So the cells are matching. So in this way, you will not lose any latest changes and the consolidated sheet will be up to date. Okay, so the second topic is over. So I'll just go on to the third one. Yeah, so the common shortcuts. An often overlooked method of increasing productivity, when working in an Excel module, is to use Excel shortcuts or Excel short keys. These shortcut keys perform major functions that when we used instead of clicking in the toolbar, dramatically increase efficiency and speed. So obviously, it's better to know a few shortcuts that we actually intend to do, but we don't know how to do it. So for that, I've just listed down few shortcuts, which is very, 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 very easy to use, and it's a common thing to use everywhere. Every time we intend to use it, but somehow we lack because of the non-remembrance of the key. So let me make it simple. So add remove filter. So instead of going to the toolbar and adding the filter, we can do it in a simple way, saying you just choose the header which you want to be as a header. So I've just selected 2 columns and I'm just going to click Control, Shift and L. So as you can see here, I can see 2 drop downs which has appeared after I clicked Control, Shift L, which is called filter activation. So I just activated the filter. So in this way, you can filter it and you can have the data that you want. Otherwise, you can unfilter and you can have the whole data on the same screen. So I'm just going to go to the next thing. Move to the edge of the data. So when you are in the top of the data, if you want to see the bottom of the data, you always intend to scroll down using your mouse. So otherwise, you will drag this bar to down. So instead of doing that without using mouse, so how can we go down and see? Not that we need to go one after one. So there is a shortcut to go for it. You just click Control and go down. So yeah, I came down, but it's not complete down because there is a gap in between. So if there is a gap, then obviously the system will consider that is the end. So you don't leave any blank. So now let me go up, and again I'm going to click Control and down arrow. Yeah, I came down and I'm just going up. The same way, Control right and Control left. Okay. So the third thing is extend selection of cells. So when you want to copy something, means color it like this. You intend to use mouse, obviously. Otherwise, we can do it we do it with keyboard itself, like clicking Control and hold Control and Shift, then press down arrow. So it selected the entire column, and I'm just extending the selection by clicking the right. So it selected the whole table. Okay, so I'm just I'm just doing the reverse. So I'm just going to click hold Control Shift and back arrow and up arrow. So it's released with the selection. So this is how we can select the cells by using only keyboard. So format cells. So format cells, it's little to format how we want the cells and the things. So the shortcuts to go for format cells is Control-1. So if you go here, you can see all kind of details. If you want to make the cell as currency. Obviously we cannot do it, it's a text one. So but we can do the formatting by using these format cell dialog box. So we can change the alignment of the text in whichever way we want, and font style and size, border and fill, and even we can protect the sheet. If not the sheet, even we can protect single cell where we don't want others to enter there. Okay. Automatic sum. So when you have a set of numbers, let's say, so this is a set of numbers. So if we need to sum this up, then obviously we'll go for sum formula, and we will choose from top to bottom, and we will click enter. So the sum is 270. So instead using only keyboard, so we can do it in another way. So like as I said here, click press Alt and type no. So by pressing Alt and enter equal to, it sums up for us. So this is the easiest way. Instead of typing formula, you can do it in this way and fastly as well. Next, new line in a cell. So I'm not sure how many of you wanted to add 2 lines in a single cell. So let me tell you, first line. So if you want to enter second line in the same cell, obviously we will click enter. So which will take us to the second cell, and it's not in the same cell. Okay. If you want to enter something in the same cell, then this is the formula for it. You just click Alt and you just keep the cursor at the end and click Alt and enter. So it takes to the second row. So now we have the second line in the single sheet. So this is how we can add 2 lines or 3 lines or 4 lines. It's infinity. So how it's up to you how many lines you want to add. So we can use this formula to do that. And select data in current region. Obviously, you know that Control A will select the data in the current region. If you want to expand the selection, you just do it once again, Control Alt, so that it will select entire sheet. So select entire row. So if you want to select only the row, you just have to click Shift space. So by doing it, you can select the entire row. There is another way of doing. So you will have to go here and click it. So the row is selected, but only thing is you will have to use mouse. So without using mouse, you can just do click Shift and enter space. So the row is selected, and if you want to choose the column, then Control and space. So that's it. So these shortcuts will make you not to use mouse for small things. So that is the whole concept of it. Okay. So insert a new row or column. So how can we insert a new row without going here and right clicking and insert? So the row has been inserted. So how can we do it without using mouse? So there is a formula, there is a key for it. So you just click you just select the row first. If you want to add row, select the row by clicking Shift and space, then Control, Shift and plus. So the row has been added. Even the column also is similar to that. You just Control space, select the column, and Control Shift and plus. Okay, the column has been added. So hide column row. So yeah, so even if we need to hide a column or row, we need to go to the taskbar up, and here we can choose hide. It's a mouse way of doing it. Okay, so how can we do it without using mouse? So you just choose, you just keep the cursor wherever whichever row or column you want to hide, and click and type Control, not type, actually click Control and 0 for the column. So the column has been hidden. Okay, so I'm just undoing it by clicking on Control and Z. So I just need to hide the row. So Control and 9. So the row is hidden. So undo, Control Z is undo. Okay, so that is it. So and the next thing is date time stamp. Yeah, so this is a fixed one. So when you add date time and time stamp, you cannot, it's not automatically update itself. You will have to do it manually. This is just a stamp where you need to show that you have done the work at that time. Okay, so how can we add date? So just click Control and semicolon, So you can see the date has been added, today's date. Now can we add time? So Control Shift and semicolon, the time also has been added in the 24 hours format. So that formatting, it's system thing, so you can alter arrange that in the system. If you change the formatting in the system, then automatically will come in AM and PM method. Okay, so this is how you can do it. So the third, the topic is over, and let's move on to formatting cells and layout. Yeah. So how can we format something that we have created? So here, as you can see here, it's just a plain table of fitness chart, so that we have created. So how can we make it look good? So to do that, we will have to have the home tab on. Okay. Fine. So first, let me start with the heading. So the heading is not like looks like a heading. So let me change the font to somewhere it appears to be heading. So I can change the font size by choosing from this range, or I can straightly type in the number saying 35. 35 is too much to the cell allotted. I'll just choose 25. Okay, the title is set and the formatting is done. So I just need to add some colors into it. Okay, so this looks good. So the font color, if I want to change it, then I can. Otherwise, I can leave it blank. Okay. So the white looks a little dominant. Okay, fine. So how can we change the title of it? So the headers. So we can give some contrast color to it so that it looks good when we are presenting it to someone. And we can change the style by going to styles. So you just choose the style which you feel that will give excellent look. Okay, so let me choose this for time being. So this is done. So this is how we can format the thing. So I'm just going to go to alignment. I'm going to do the center alignment first. And if it's up to us how we are going to alignment. Even if you want to keep the text on the top of the cells, you can do that. So that's how we can align it. And the formatting is done. So as you can compare from the previous rough template to the the fully formatted table, and there is no border. After we change to the style, there is no border, it's actually gone. So probably we can add the border by going to font and clicking all borders. So there are a lot of type of borders that we can have it under this border category. So bottom border, top border, a thick border, or all borders, which will go through the cells, so which will make us to see the row-wise data clearly. So this is how the formatting can be done, and also I'll explain you how these three features functions. So formatting in cells. Okay. So font, alignment, and number. So what does these three things do actually? So I'll just I just cleared the format of it, so it's now back to the regular font type. So bold. So you can bold it by choosing this B, italic, and you can border it. Even you can do the double bordering also by clicking the double arrow, the down arrow. So you can see the double border. And you can, sorry, that's an underline, and you can border it using these borders. Okay, so as you know, background color, you can choose it from here. And font color, you can have more colors. Even you can create your own contrast color according to the Excel sheet colors, but better don't use lot of colors in Excel sheet, which will make the data invisible, or sometimes not understandable. So keep it simple, where everyone can see it clearly and understand this, what you are trying to say very much. Okay, so font, as I told you, you can choose the font from here. So you can resize it. Okay, so next move on to the alignment thing. So in alignment, I'm just going to remove everything off. Okay, so in alignment, I'm just going to merge the cells to 4 cells. Okay, so the now one cell is merged to 4 cells, so I can have a 4 cells space, and I can have the text appearing in a unique way. So I'm just going to align it, and I'll just do the middle alignment and the top alignment. Okay, so the alignment is done. So even if I need to show change the angle of the text, yeah, I can. So I can do the changing by clicking this option. Whichever way we can do that actually. So it's up to the report or data that you are preparing. Okay. So even within the cell, if you need to move the text left or right, still we can do it by choosing this increase intent. So if you increase it, it will go forward. If you decrease it, it will come backward. So you just choose it accordingly to give some kind of style into the template that you are going to show. So what is wrap text? So I'll just add on few text. Okay, so I've just added cornea, glaucoma, and quality. So when I type that, so I cannot see the glaucoma and cornea, glaucoma and retina quality fully because it's hidden backside. But here I can see it fully. So what to be done to get the text in a single cell, which is fit in the cell where we can view it without even doing anything. So just click wrap text. So by doing this, you can view the text fully. So in case if you want to give a space to it, as you know, Alt and Enter will will create a line of it. So you just choose the word and click Alt Enter and enter it. So in this way, you can see it's all in line and it's all in clearly visible. Yeah, so that is the function of using alignment. So next is to numbers. So numbers, actually, how can we format the numbers? So if you need to now format the numbers, you just have to select it and go to and click this arrow down and go to numbers, and you just assign decimals to it. When you have a decimals after the dot, it's automatically considered as numbers. So by doing this, it's a number, it's converted to number. So if you want to do it manually, using the toolbar, you can have option of decreasing or increasing decibel. You can decrease the decibel or you can increase the decibel without even going into the format cell. Okay. So now date. So if you don't want to have date in these format, you can obviously change it by going to format cells, and obviously it's date format. And here you have a lot of option to choose. Out of it, I'm just going to choose the top one where we can have day, DD, MM, Y, 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 Y. So I just want it in this way. If I maybe I can choose the reverse order of it. So Y, 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 MM, and DD, which is year, month, and year, and the date. So I'm just going to click OK. So now the format is changed to year, month, and date. So you can change it using this format cells. So, and how can we add? How can we turn the number into currency mode? So when we have some numbers, and you know that that's a currency, so you can always add currency into it. So this is one way of doing it by selecting from the drop down. The other way of doing it, you can go here and you can see the symbol, and it's a Indian symbol. It's in the first. So if you want to change the symbol to dollars or euro, you can look for it. There are a lot of symbols available. You can look for it and choose one, and you just give appropriately. So this is it. And now I'm just going to data validation. Okay, so data validation. So what is data validation? Data validation is, an Excel data validation is a feature that allows you to control the type of data entered into your worksheet. Okay. For example, Excel data validation allows you to limit data entries to a selection from a drop-down list and to restrict certain data entries such as dates or numbers outside of a predetermined range. So I'll just walk you through one by one so that you will understand the thing fully. What is whole number? So let me show you where data validation icon appears. So we just go data and go to data tools. In that, you choose data validation. So here the data validation, you will have to choose the first one of it. So before that, I'm just going to select this cell because I just want to apply data validation limitation to this cells. So I'm just going to choose data validation, and here you have the dialog box. In that, you choose whole number. See here it shows between. So I just need the numbers to be entered between 10 to 20. So I'm just giving a rule saying these particular selected cells supposed to take only the numbers between 10 and 20. So if it is more or less, it shouldn't accept. So that is the rule that I'm going to assign it to this selected range. So I'm just entering it. Okay. So let me try. So 12, 17. Okay, now I'll type 9. Okay, so it's not accepting it because the rule it's clear. We need to enter from 10 to 20. If it is beyond 20 also, it won't accept. Okay, so this is how we can use this whole number. You can create a rule for the cells that you want to do it. Next, text length. So how can we limit the text length? Let's say if I have 8 digit of registration number and that registration number supposed to be entered into the Excel sheet along with other classmates. So what if I make a mistake? So I type only 7 numbers. I type otherwise I type 9 numbers. So it will make little confusion at the end of the exam time or whatever it is. So how can we limit that? So again, I'm going to data validation and I'm just going to choose the length, text length. So I'm just going to give criteria minimum, it's supposed to be 7 and maximum it's supposed to be 8. So or else we can give 8 to 8. Okay, so it's up to us how we can going to limit it. So for now, I'm just giving 7 to 8. Okay, for the session. So I'm just going to type 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 is acceptable because between 7 and 8 it's acceptable. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. Okay, just a moment. Okay, fine. I have not chosen the cell references, so I have just selected the first cell and I've given the rules. You have to ensure that you are selecting the entire cell. Otherwise, it won't make you, it won't reflect the change, rules that have been applied. So I'm just going to remove the. Yes. Okay, so I'm just going to extend that rule to all the cells. So this is one thing, because if you don't apply the rule to all the cells, then definitely you are not going to get it. Like how I missed to add the other cells also into the formula range. So now I'm going to type 9. It is not accepting it because it's up to 8. Between 7 and 8 is acceptable. So I think now it's clear. Okay, so now how can we limit the date? Even we can limit the date by using this data validation. First, I'm just going to select the cells that I want to limit, impose the rule. So data, and I'm going to go date, and between, I'm just going to select first day of February 2020 to 31st day of January 2021. Okay, so the date supposed to be between these dates. If it is going beyond or before that, then it shouldn't accept it. So let me try it out. First, for 2020, it's supposed to accept, yeah. So 3rd, 6 of 2018, it is not accepting because we have given a range to choose from April 2020 to January 2021. So I think it's clear. So how can we create a drop-down list? There are 2 ways of creating drop-down list. So as you can see here, I'll just have to go to data validation again, and I'll choose list from the category, and I'll just choose the list, and here you can see the source. Okay, so I'll just show you how this actually works. So I'm just going to type the cataract, comma, cornea, glaucoma, retina. So the source has been selected. I'm just going to click OK. So now you can see the drop down button. When you click it, you can have the drop down thing, but you cannot see in the 2nd and 3rd and 4th rows because I have not selected the all. I have not selected all the cells where it's supposed to reflect. So I'm just going to delete the number, and I'm just going to drag down, and I've applied the formula, not a formula. I'll just drag the rules to everywhere so that you can see the drop down coming in all the cells that we have chosen. So what is drop down list 2? So this is in this drop down list 1, we have typed the values manually. So here I'm just going to select the data from the list. So I'm just going to click here, and I'm just going to choose the data from here and click OK. So the data has come. So I'm just going to drag down and apply rules to all the cells. So the rule has been applied to all the cells, and we can see the drop down list accordingly. What is best, if you ask me? Let me show you realistically. So if I delete something from the source, obviously we cannot see that option in the main drop down list. So always prefer to have typing a drop down list, whereas it is in the formula are inbuilt, and the source also it's inbuilt, so it no need to go out and search for the references. So if something I add instead some cornea, so that will appear over here. So these will make this will lead to confusion if someone unknowingly makes some mistakes. Okay, so that is it. So next, to highlight and filter. So how to create filter, I think you pretty much know, because I've just covered it in the previous topic. So to choose filter, click hold Control and Shift and enter L. So you created a filter. So in this way, you can filter it whichever way you want. Okay, so this is the function of filter. And how can we do the highlighting thing? So there are 2 ways of doing highlighting. So the one is to let's say I just need only Canada and government. So this is how we need to highlight it. Okay, so I need to go down to the down, and I need to give some color to show it is unique or it is needed. Okay, so instead of doing these big step, I'll just tell you the simplest way and easiest way to do it. So I have just created a conditional formatting drop down. So where I have chosen here we can have a lot of. It appears to be a lot of country, but actually I remove the duplicates. So whereas I drill down to only 5 countries, so I just need to highlight France. So by doing it, I can see the France entire line is highlighted. So how can we do this? So I'll just show you in a simple way. So if not France, if I want to see United States, America, then I just need to select here, and USA's details are highlighted over here. So how can we do that? So I'm just going to duplicate the same procedure. Okay. So first I'll need to have the country names. So first I need to remove the duplicate to have the total number of countries, so that I can create a drop down and link that to the conditional formatting. Let me show you. I've just added the title, countries over here. So this is an experimental thing that I have done already. So you need to go to data and choose remove duplicates. So when you are doing it, it actually removes all the duplicates. When I clicked remove duplicates, it's the dialog box opened and it is asking me to confirm whether I just need to remove the duplicates in the column T. Yes, I just need to remove the duplicates only in the column T. I'm just going to click OK. So I can get the notification saying 695 duplicate values found and removed. 5 unique values remain. So now I got my 5 unique values. And now I'm going to create a drop down. So you know that how to create drop down. So you just go to data validation and go to list and choose the source. Click OK. So now the data is created in the drop down menu. Okay, so how can we link this drop down menu to this highlighting thing? So that's very easy. So you just go to styles again and choose conditional formatting, create a new rule. So in the new rule, you just choose the last one because it's use a formula to determine which cells to format. Okay, so you just choose it, and so I'm just going to take the reference one, the unique thing. So I just need to pick this Canada when I click when I choose Canada here. So I'm just going to click here, and as you can see here, the $2 symbol appears. $2 symbol appears on the selected range, which is not movable. I just need only column to be fixed, not the row, because the further country is supposed to choose the following data. So I don't want to keep the dollar symbol. So usually dollar symbol meant to be freeze the cell. It will not take the further cells unless you allow them to take. So I'm just going to allow them by blocking only the by fixing only the column. I'm just going to leave the cells free so that it will go around and pick the relevant numbers as I click here. So I'm just going to choose these cell. So I've just given equal to, because when this is equal to this, I just need the cells to be filled with this color. Let me choose this color. Okay, the color is set, and I'm just going to click OK. So nothing has changed because I have not chosen anything. It's a blind thing. I'm just going to choose Germany. Okay, hold on a second. Okay, so I'm just going to redo it again. So I'm just going to choose down and I'm just going to freeze it. Germany. Format to this color, and I'm going to click OK. So some glitch. So probably I'll just. So I think I have showed you how it had done. So this is that's how it has to be done. I think the cell reference, it's not taking it. So probably I'll just remove these and let me try. Okay, so that's how we need to do it. So some small glitch has happened. So I'll just move on to the next topic. So build table and charts. So how can we build a table and a chart? So as I told you already, we know how to build a chart. Okay, so the table creation is very simple. We just keep the cursor on the heading and click Control and T. So it is selecting the top of it. So we don't need the top of it. Probably we just keep the cursor, select the first value from the table and click Control T, and it's still selecting the top one. So probably I'm just going to change it manually over here. So instead of $2, I'm just going to click $3 and okay. So now the table has been created. So this is how we can create a table. In case if you want to change the table orientation, probably you can do it by choosing the design. You can choose whatever the table that you want to do. However you want to do it, you can do it by choosing the template. Otherwise, you can keep it simple by keeping like this. Okay, so how can we have the charts by using the data values? So I'm just going to show you with this range how we can have how we can prepare a chart. Okay, so you just select the range that you want to populate it as a chart. Go to column chart, so you can view it, you can have a preview of it. So you just decide which one will looks good on it. So this is how you can choose charts. So obviously wherever you click, you will have a preview of the chart. You can see the preview, then you can proceed with it. If you don't feel it looks nice, then probably you just move on to the next chart. You have a plenty of opportunity to explore charts. Okay, so this is how you can do that. So let me move on to Excel dashboard. Yeah, so before we move on to the Excel dashboard, I'll just show you some samples of it. Yeah, so this is the value that usually regular companies that used to contain on a yearly basis. So when you are asked to present kind of annual what a sales report or annual budget things, so we cannot show this raw data to the members who are going to see the presentation, because it's a little vague and it's too big to compress within the PPT size. So how can we convert these into dashboard? So here is the sample dashboard, which is very wide and which has all the few things which is customized and simplified and very much understandable. So this is a sample file that I can just pick up and I am just showing it to you. So this is a way of doing dashboard only using Excel sheet. And there is another sample that I can show off. It's a financial dashboard. So how we can effectively transform from thousands of rows to picture view. So the data visualization, a data visual representation of key metrics that allow you to quickly view and analyze your data in one place, and and we can also change the data according to the importance that we give. Okay, so now let's move on to the actual data Excel sheet workings. So I don't want to create such a big one because that's a completely fluent level of it. So probably I'll just give a glimpses of how we can effectively create a dashboard in a simple way. Let me start with that. So I've just used this 20 data to get total gross sales and total number of sales and average sale price. So I'm just going to show you how we can create it for 2019 in the same way. Okay, so to start with, let me go to insert and illustration, and let me choose a shape. I'll take a edge curved rectangle so that it looks similar. Okay, so it is set. So how can we link this shape to the value? So it's very simple. You have selected the table and you just go to the formula typing area and click equal to and go to 2019, and we need total grass. So we need this total grass. As I told you, so it's 1000 row of data. So we cannot go one by one after one or scrolling down because it will take a lot of time. So I'm just going to click Control down arrow. So I've come to the end of it. So there I'm going to click the totals of the gross sales. So here is the total and here is the gross sales, and I'm just going to enter it. So there I can have the total gross. Okay, so now I'm just increased the size of it, and I'm just going to align it the middle and center. And if I need to change the color to white, then I can do it. Okay, so it's pretty rough, right? So we cannot know what title it is. So when we are seeing it on the dashboard, it's very difficult to understand why we have mentioned the number over here. So to give, we need to give label to it. So go to insert and create text box. So and type total gross sales, and you can do the formatting as you like. So similar to that, I'm just going to quickly create these other two shapes as well, and I'm just going to show you how that can be done. Okay, this is it, and I'm just going to Control C and Control V, which is copy pasting. Okay, so I'm just going to click equal to what I just need total number of sales. I'm just going to go to data 2019 and total number of sales. Okay, so total number of sales, probably I could get it from here. Yeah, here it is. So this much unit is sold to the customer in that particular year. So I'm just going to click on it. So again, we need to do the formatting and color changing, and I'm just going to align it to middle and center, and I'm just going to copy paste Control C and Control V the previous title, and I can edit it. So next thing is average sale. So average sale, I'm just going to go to the data, and average sale, I've just gross sales. In that we can have the average, sales price. So average sales, I have already given the formula to do that. You know how to create average as well. So I'm just entering it, and I'm just going to align it according to the need. And I'm just going to add this. Just going to copy paste the title. So now you can see that this average doesn't have currency symbol, whereas the 2020 have currency symbol. So how can we add currency symbol into it? So to do that, you just go back to the sheet, and you just click the data that you want to be converted as a currency. You just go again and choose currency method. Just choose the currency. So you can see the dollar currency symbol on it. So when we go back, so we can see the difference over here. So the important purpose of having dashboard is to connect with the sheets, where when there is a change in the connecting sheets, of course the dashboard also will get changed. It is not only to look, it also to understand the business. It also to know what is happening and segregate where we're losing, where we are actually performing well. So this is it, and I think I pretty much covered all the topics.